Today's game features Carlsen, Magnus playing as white against guest 2 as black. Move 0. White controls the center with e4. And here, controls key squares with the pawn. White plays brings out the knight to f3, with time becoming a factor. Now, black establishes a pawn on d6. White responds with pawn moves to d4. Black now plays pawn takes pawn. At this point, white knight takes pawn, a sacrifice. Contesting the center. Black responds with places the knight on c6. White pushes forward to c4. As the clock winds down, black completes minor piece development, opening lines for the pieces. We're at move 5. White completes minor piece development. It's black's turn. Advances the pawn. Interestingly, white develops the knight to c2. It's black's turn. Places the bishop on g7. So, white bishop slides to e2. Black brings the king to the kingside. So, white castles kingside. Black continues with advances to a6. White plays activates the bishop early. Black pawn to e5. On move 10, white queen shifts to d2. Preparing to break through. Black bishop slides to e6. Next, doubles rooks on the file, with limited time available. Black queen shifts to c7. White queen captures pawn, offering material. Improving the position. It's black's turn. Takes the queen with the queen. So, white rook takes the queen. Black brings the rook into play. Continuing, rook shifts to d1. It's black's turn. Finds a stronger diagonal. Move 15. White rook removes the rook. And here, rook snaps up the rook. White rook captures the rook on d8. Check. The king is in danger. Black knight removes the rook, building pressure. White bishop eliminates the bishop. Improving piece activity. Black now plays knight takes the bishop. White improves the bishop's scope. Meanwhile, knight to c6. As time becomes precious, white advances to f3. Black now plays knight jumps to f6, gaining a positional edge. On move 20, white activates the knight. Black develops the knight to d7. White plays repositions the bishop. Black responds with knight jumps to f6. White king marches up the board, creating unstoppable threats. In time trouble, black advances the critical pawn in a race against time. Next, activates the knight. That doesn't look right. It's black's turn. Knight to b4. An inaccuracy. White plays knight takes knight on b4. Interestingly, black pawn captures knight. On move 25, white places the knight on c2. Under time pressure, black continues with brings the knight closer to the action, shouldering the king away. With less than a minute on the clock, white knight snaps off the pawn, with the clock running down. Black pushes the passed pawn to b6, needing to move quickly. So, maneuvers the knight to d5. Black continues with maneuvers the knight to c5, converting the advantage. Interestingly, white bishop removes the knight. Black continues with pawn takes bishop. Racing against the clock, white pushes the pawn to a4. Black bishop moves to f8, with critical time shortage. On move 30, white advances the pawn to a5. With just seconds remaining, black bishop slides to d6. Fighting the clock. White knight jumps to f6, giving check. Playing on the increment alone, black king steps to g7, creating mating threats. White repositions the knight to d7. Black repositions the bishop, with almost no time remaining. White pawn moves to a6. It's black's turn. Bishop moves to b8, with the clock ticking to 0. White knight trades bishop, simplifying. Improving piece activity in the endgame. Guest 2 resigns. Carlsen, Magnus wins the game.